In the headlines, Dominica's Foreign Affairs Minister makes a strong case for Natural Disaster Relief Fund at the UN General Assembly. A CTO message on boosting competitiveness on World Tourism Day, and the DASPA CEO tells LIAT a well-managed flight schedule is what's needed to address concerns over hours of business at Douglas Charles. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this. First up, Dominica's Foreign Affairs Minister has appealed for more urgent and wide-ranging action to fight climate change and to ensure the survival of small island developing states, or SIDS. The minister made the plea during the current sitting of the United Nations General Assembly. She made reference to Tropical Storm Erica, which killed 30 Dominicans and destroyed 90% of the country's gross domestic product, saying it was a reminder of the devastating impact of climate change.
I can tell you that Dominica's experience with Tropical Storm Erica is all too common in the lives of SIDS. We continue to suffer the disproportionate burdens and impacts of climate change, which also severely undermines our efforts at sustainable development. Also troubling are the slow onset events and extreme weather events brought on as a result of climate change. These are expected to become more frequent and more destructive. What this means for us in real terms is that limited resources that should be targeted at transformative and sustainable development of necessity have to be continuously shifted to post-disaster rehabilitation.
Honorable Barron said this is why Dominica continues to call for collaboration in establishing an international natural disaster relief fund. This fund would provide timely financial support to small developing states affected by natural disasters.
The current Catastrophic Risk Fund within the Caribbean Development Bank for Caribbean SIDS and the IMF and World Bank disaster recovery facilities are good starting points. Regrettably, in the face of the enormous challenge, their funding levels remain vastly insufficient. We would be quite encouraged should the capitalization of the Special Natural Disaster Risk Fund come from the Annex 1 members and other major emitters, including voluntary contributors. We believe that such a facility would allow SIDS to access and secure funds in a more predictable and timely manner, and to be able to rebuild more robust infrastructure through effective technical assistance and physical development planning.
Other lead stories, Secretary General of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Hugh Riley, used the occasion of World Tourism Day to call on member states to boost their competitiveness as an option for tourists by investing in necessary infrastructure. The United Nations World Tourism Organization has celebrated World Tourism Day on September 27 since 1980. This year's theme, Promoting Universal Accessibility, speaks to accessible tourism for all. This is about the creation of environments that can cater to the needs of everyone, whether it's the disabled, families with small children, or senior citizens. Riley said in a statement that the CTO is confident that countries which embrace the accessibility for all philosophy will generate added value and a competitive advantage in the product. He says investments in training, improvements to infrastructure and facilities, and adopting new information communication technologies can add to enhancing both business and destination competitiveness for its members. Riley said in making tourism accessible to all, a zero-tolerance policy on discrimination, prejudice, or abuse in relation to the delivery of services to guests and in the management and treatment of staff has to be considered. Dominica is among the 29 countries of the CTO. Court news now, murder accused Shane the Gallery, Sherman Webb, Vivian Charles, Mitchell Tyson, McKinley Williams, and Loet Montel Frederick Dick were all given their trial dates on Tuesday. The criminal session of the High Court opened with 42 matters on the court's cause list before Justice Victoria Charles Clark. Justice Charles Clark stated that she hopes her assignment will be productive and fruitful, but will need the full cooperation and support of all lawyers. Those charged with matters of a sexual nature were also before the court, where the charges were read. Court is adjourned until Wednesday. Protest action is not being ruled out by bus drivers of a West Coast community as they seek redress regarding road conditions in their area. Vice President of the Stock Farm Bus Drivers Association told Channel 5 News that several attempts had been made to improve road conditions in the area.
Let me tell you that we bus drivers already take days fixing the road on our own. We buy our cement, we get our salaman, and we fix the road from lane to lane, street to street, on the highway going out to public works. We do that on a Saturday and Sunday already. We do it more than once. You understand? When we decide we're going to plan a little protest and somebody here is planning a little protest, they come on the Monday. A fella from Fokole come with an old van and he put some concrete in the hole and block the hole. We know asphalt and concrete cannot bind. And in the next 2 days is to see how the concrete will get over the asphalt, you know, and then the hole becoming bigger and bigger. I already called Public Works on a certain occasion, called Public Works and asked them, well, one will send you to that one will send you to the other one, and by the end of the day you don't get nowhere.
You've written letters as well?
Well, I think the chairman will send 1, 2 letters, you know, and nobody take it.
Dover says protesting may be the next step if their concerns are not addressed in a short time.
We have great concern of the road. And even the villagers, even though the villagers want us to protest, to see how the road that bad enough, the villagers want us to protest. Whenever we're ready, they want to know because they want to be part of it. Because every time we ask for a little something to be done on the road, we have to go out there and protest. It shouldn't be like that. We want anybody in Dominica to take a drive on Stock Farm Road, go up front, drive from Public Road to the State College, and they will see what we're talking about. Every other day you have to put drop link on your vehicle. Them drop links they have now, they're not good. The road will burst it in 1 day. The next day you have to go and buy another 4 drop links. And you know that's not good enough.
Stock Farm bus drivers lamented that the level of development in the Stock Farm area is not reflected in the state of the roads.
When I look at a state-of-the-art building up there, I think the road is not proper and there's a lot of traffic. Apart from the buses, you have private vehicles, just a lot of traffic up there. So I think the road, something has to be done with the road.
One of those good days, we're going to protest on the road. And when we go and protest, you have the Stock Farm, you have Yampis, you have Tarish Pit. Everybody willing to come out with us. That day, I don't think anybody will go to work. Everybody willing and everybody ready. Everybody just waiting for the word, let's go, fellas. Tomorrow, we're on a strike. How ugly it's going to look. So before it happens, we want somebody to give us some assistance, some attention on Stock Farm Road.
Coming up, a tourism executive on what it will take to move the industry forward. Thanks for staying with us. The Air and the Seaport Authority boss has suggested that as they continue to put up with behind-scheduled night flights by LIAT, it's at the expense of the Douglas Charles Airport. Idona John Baptist explains.
Douglas Charles Airport closes officially at 7 p.m. However, acting CEO of LIAT, Julie Riffer-Jones, recently said that the airline's management considered that to be early, saying it is one of the reasons why LIAT is unable to serve the island reliably. To Benoit Badwell, CEO of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, this is a non-factor. He told Channel 5 News what LIAT's management should do is manage its flight schedule properly.
The issue that has plagued LIAT for a number of years is the issue of the proper management of their flight schedules. And we open the airports in the mornings from 6 in the morning, and we go up until 8. And obviously the last flight comes in somewhere after 7. And so LIAT is expected to manage the time. The problem we have is in a number of cases, LIAT still can't make it to the closing time. At one time, we had moved the closing time to 10 p.m. And even when we had moved it to 10 p.m., LIAT could still not some of their flights went beyond that, and as late as probably 1 o'clock in the morning. And so it is a management issue of LIAT in terms of their flight scheduling and their operations. And so they need to do a lot better.
Badwell says local airport authorities have brought the matter up with the regional airline.
We can't have persons operating at the airport going for extensive hours, waiting on one flight or two flights at night, because LIAT has fallen through in terms of their obligation. I mean, every airline has to look after its internal operation. But we've said to them very clearly that you don't expect to be operating way past the closing time and not pay the necessary fees.
On the matter of LIAT's intention to cut flights within the Caribbean, Badwell says no official notice has been received from LIAT to this end.
But any cut in flights would affect Dominica. As you know, we have a student population from Ross as well as All Saints. We do have, from our tourism aspect, we rely a lot. 70% of our traffic is heavily based on LIAT schedules. As you know, we are staging the World Queer Music Festival pretty soon, and we are hoping that we can probably get an increase in terms of the number of flights in and out of Dominica to ensure that those persons coming for the Creole Festival and the Independence can actually access Dominica.
CEO of the country's tourism marketing arm agrees that some level of thinking out of the box is required to move the tourism industry forward. He said coming out of the State of the Tourism Industry Conference held in Barbados earlier this month, some lessons have been learned. According to him, moves are being made to incorporate those lessons into the country's tourism policies.
I had some chats with some of my colleagues in terms of what they're doing in their respective islands. So just a general upgrade in terms of information and food for thought in terms of how to now come back and try to implement some of these things here in Dominica. It's a little premature, but what we have on our work plan is to really focus on niche markets, so the area of hike, dive, culinary, health and wellness, even looking at the area of voluntourism and looking at sports tourism. These are some of the areas that we want to focus on because we believe we have a comparative advantage. So you have to couple both things, what your product allows you to do and what you can do well with, and marry that with what is trending out there and what people want to do. So these are things that we want to look at, also the heritage aspect of our culture.
The marketing budget for the Discover Dominica Authority has increased. This time it's $8.5 million, a jump from the 2015-2016 budget of $6 million. Although Piper recognizes diversifying the experience beyond the nature and adventures is needed, how soon fresh and innovative ideas will be implemented remains undetermined.
The visitors coming to Dominica, they themselves are changing. We have an older age group that typically has come to Dominica because of the disposable spend needed to get here and because of some of the activities that we offered, primarily the scuba diving and the snorkeling. With millennials now, which is a younger age group, and the fact that they too wish to travel, we now have to change and adapt some of our product offerings to what they are interested in. And so it's interesting to hear now what some of the other destinations are doing to capture that particular target market. We look at it, for example, we looked at what Barbados is doing with product development and how they in turn are developing some of the products, staging them, and then look to privatize them afterwards. But if you're looking to diversify the experience, then it may be that we have to take a leadership role, not only in conceptualizing, but maybe also developing.
The Ministry of Education has recognized that school facilities are profoundly impacting teachers' outcomes. Speaking at the official opening of the Newtown Primary School, Honorable Peter St. Jean said it is his hope to see teachers' enthusiasm reflected in their students' performance.
It is our commitment to the teachers of Newtown, to the parents of Newtown, and to the parents of Roseau South, and indeed Dominica. To the school PTA executive led by Mr. Andreas Nubek, I thank you for your support and your partnership. We could not have done it alone.
He said in order to elevate our schools to effective 21st century learning centers, the support of sectors within all communities are required. The minister said government's commitment to high-quality education for all students is unmatched.
Clearly, Labour loves children. Labour values education. And that is why Labour is well on the way to taking education to the next level. Were it not for the friendship between the Commonwealth of Dominica and the People's Republic of China, this school would never have been possible. Were it not for the courageous decision of my good friend, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, we would not be standing here today in celebration.
Saint-Jean said construction of the state-of-the-art school is one of the greatest achievements in education. And MP for Roseau South, Joshua Francis, has welcomed the opening of a $6 million Newtown primary school. Mr. Francis has expressed gratitude to government and the People's Republic of China for this initiative. He said the upgraded physical space within the newly constructed primary school has improved students' learning culture. Francis says the building provides new facilities and a better learning environment for students. He advised parents to invest more time and effort in the education of our children and call on school managers, principals, and teachers to strive for nothing less than excellence. Your sports highlights next. First up in sports, the hopes of avoiding a whitewash was beyond the Windies' reach as they went down to Pakistan by 8 wickets with 29 balls left in their T20 match on Tuesday. Batting first, West Indies reached 103 for 5. Marlon Samuels led the scoring for the Windies with 43, while Kieran Pollard 16 not out and Nicholas Pooran 16. In reply, Pakistan scored 108 for 2 in 15.1 overs. S. Malik contributed 43, Babar Azam 27 and Khalid Latif 21. Meantime, left-arm spinner Jamel Warrican has been included in the West Indies test squad for the series against Pakistan in the United Arab Emirates. The Windies play 3 tests in the UAE, the first in Dubai from October 13, being the maiden day-night fixture for both teams. The second in Abu Dhabi from October 21, the third in Sharjah from October 30. The squad reads Jason Holder, captain, Craig Brathwaite, vice-captain, Devendra Bishu, Jermaine Blackwood, Carlos Brathwaite, Darren Bravo, Ruston Chase, Miguel Cummings, Shane Dorwich, Shannon Gabriel, Shai Hope, Leon Johnson, Alzari Joseph, Marlon Samuels, and Jamel Warrican. On the basketball scene, President of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association, Jerry Williams, believes the recent 3-day Jumpstart program has played a vital role in improving the basketball product here. 5 boys and 2 girls were selected to move to the second phase of the program in the BVI.
This program would only enhance our product in regards to getting young players involved in the game, and also apart from this 40 and 20 that were selected to do the camp, it's going to get more persons involved, because when they go back to their schools, they're going to speak about it, and persons are going to want to play basketball. Coming off from a hype season, a nice season, going into this, I mean, as a president, you can only smile and give good kudos for what's going on.
The local basketball coaches also benefited from the training program.
That too, what it does is it also exposes the coaches to a different style of coaching. It would also only improve our game of basketball. And again, looking forward to next year, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of teams now going into training, going into practice, and the product is just going to improve.
Next up, an appeal to the media to play a greater role in helping to bring increased awareness to the sport of volleyball. This according to Assistant National Volleyball Coach Erickson LeBlanc.
I would like to encourage Marpin, DBS, and any other media outlet to reach out to us. We have 6 months before we send out our national team to represent Dominica. Reach out to us. Come, let us spread the volleyball news throughout Dominica. The sport is not just for volleyball players. or coaches like myself. We want to either encourage new players, encourage sponsors to come out, see what we're doing. So within that 6 months, we most of the time we'll be at the Flow Complex. Come out, meet with us, meet with the coaches, talk with 1 or 2 players, get the vibes. Let the world out there or let Dominicans know that something is happening in volleyball and partner with us.
On to tennis, where defending champion Mauricio Burton went down to Novik Josiah and Claudio Sanford in the opening round of the 2016 Big Edge Youth Tennis Tournament at the Dominica Grammar School court. In the under-18 boys group, Novik Joseph beat Mauricio Burton 4-3, 4-3. Burton also went down to Claudio Sanford 4-3, 4-2. In another match, Yannick Josiah beat Shahid Luis 4-0, 4-0. Alonso Doctro bested Shahid Luis 4-3, 4-0. Jerome Joseph got the better of O. McIntyre 4-1, 4-2. Harris Antoine went down to Neelan Morris 4-3, 1-4, and 4-2. And Sherwin Dominic beat Harris Antoine 4-3, 2-4, and 4-1. The games continue on Saturday with quarterfinal matches in the under 12, 14, and 18 categories at 9:30 a.m. In netball, there were wins for Portsmouth United, Caricino Zikak, and Double O Construction Chance in the 2016 M&J Gutter ME Northern Netball League. Portsmouth defeated Paybush 36-21, Zikak bested Capuchin 34-13, and Chance got the better of Glanvilla with a 27-19 win. In track news, we check out a recent 2-kilometer event put on by the Pioneers Athletics Club, where Jabez Ferrara finished first in a time of 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Following him was Zornel Christopher in a time of 7 minutes and 53 seconds, and Chester Durand in 8 minutes and 23 seconds. The event was geared at assisting track athletes prepare for the secondary school's independence meet credited for later this year. Finally, in results from the round of 16 competition in the 2016 Giant Malt National Rounders League plays recently, Maxroy Royal Challengers defeated KFC Mafia Battlers by 10 wickets. Battlers scored 202 all out in 31 overs. Tara James 46, M. Anatol 40. In reply, MRC scored 211 for 1 in 25 overs. Angela M. made 53 and Irma St. Louis 45. And the Posse Rockstars beat Stowe & Co. Hard Hitters by 58 runs. Rockstars scored 321 all out. Antoinette Paul 80, Pat C. Andre 42, and Annie George 38. Hard Hitters answered with 263 for 5, Shelley and Cadet 65, Anthea Jeffrey 41, and Barbara Henderson 28. That's all the sporting highlights for now. We'll see you in the next one. And just before we bring you the weather report, we'd like to inform you that the Ministry of Education has advised of the closure of all schools on Wednesday due to the approaching weather system. All students are hereby advised to remain at home. We now turn to the folks at the weather office for an update on the expected weather system.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. This large area of convection associated with a broad area of low pressure, which is expected to approach the region by later tonight. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery and what it showed. Multi-layered clouds across the region and also to the east of the islands due to the approaching tropical disturbance. Now, taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it indicated. A few scattered showers mainly across the southern portion of the region. Tonight's weather is expected to be fair at first, becoming increasingly cloudy with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Winds are expected to be coming from the northeast near 50 km per hour with higher gusts to tropical storm force. And tomorrow's weather is expected to be cloudy to overcast with periods of moderate to heavy showers and thunderstorms and winds gusting up to tropical storm force. As a result, residents are advised to take all the necessary precautions to protect life and property. Sea conditions are expected to be rough in open water with waves peaking up to 14 feet. A small craft warning is in effect for above normal seas and high winds. For the next 3 days, Cloudy to overcast skies with periods of moderate to heavy showers and gusty winds to tropical storm force, and also scattered thunderstorms can be expected on Wednesday and Thursday. As a result, all are advised to take all necessary precautions to protect life and property. A relative improvement in conditions can be expected by Friday. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, this broad area of low pressure is expected to result in an increase in cloudiness, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and also gusty winds across most of the region during tomorrow. Our international cities forecast: cloudy skies expected in New York, showers and thunderstorms expected in Miami, partly cloudy skies expected in London and Caracas, with clear skies expected in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:55 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:57 p.m. Please remember that we are in the hurricane season. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing, have a good night, and stay safe.
To end the news, a reminder of the headlines. Dominica's Foreign Affairs Minister makes a strong case for Natural Disaster Relief Fund at the UN General Assembly. A CTO message on boosting competitiveness on World Tourism Day, and the DASPA CEO tells LIAT a well-managed flight schedule is what's needed to address concerns over hours of business at Douglas Charles. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNews27thSept2k16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To all our viewers around the world, we thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.